let's bring back Pat Carfagno, who made her debut on Backlash a couple days ago last week. And we're going to talk about current events. I think she heard the interview I did already with Mike Closer. And let me welcome her. Pat, thanks for coming on Backlash.
I did. Thank you, Adam.
So, what's on your mind? I mean, it's a hard time to talk about the hurricane because it's Monday and it's going to get worse probably tonight, tomorrow. There's sort of a lull right now, the first devastation. We don't know how bad this is going to be yet, I guess. So that's not an easy topic to talk about.
Well, let's politicize it. Everyone else is.
Oh, why not? Sure. That's easier to do.
Trump will be considered to have done a bad job because how many ways? Let me count the ways. Let's see.
Well, racism, first of all. Because racism.
Oh, of course, racism. There will not have been enough black rescuers.
Right.
And that will be his fault.
Right, because the Cajun Navy should have had more blacks in there.
And Antifa is otherwise occupied.
Right, they have bigger priorities.
Yes. It will all be his fault. In fact, the storm itself is his fault.
Yeah, I mean, there's a case that can be made for there. It's called global warming, and Trump, is a denier. So obviously, there were no hurricanes till fairly recently. No hurricanes occurred before Al Gore said that they occur due to global warming. So yeah, I mean, of course, the Earth was supposed to have been destroyed by now, so there shouldn't have been hurricanes anyway. But who knows?
Yeah. And there's, it's a horror scene. There are alligators in the streets.
There are indeed alligators in the streets. Did you see the video of someone fishing in their own home?
There are also minnows in the streets, but
yeah,
we won't.
That's not.
It's very. So we're making a joke out of it.
No,
a terrible thing.
We're making a joke of the coverage of it, and the reality is it's sad, but true. There's not much we can do. I mean, obviously, someone could go volunteer and go there, which I have not chosen to do. But it would be kind of hard to get there now, anyhow. I would imagine, and the two.
And they don't want me.
Well, I mean, you have some medical challenges, so I'm not sure you would be as much of a benefit to helping people as you might have been at other points in life. But I don't know if you saw two Facebook posts I made that seemed to have gone over pretty well. One was, so have the buses arrived yet with the able-bodied young Soros-funded volunteers? So needless to say, they have not, because they send buses to Antifa, etc., to rallies. There were plenty of buses going to Berkeley yesterday, but nothing to Houston.
And I understand Rahm Emanuel has organized what would you call it? It's just a bunch of buses.
Oh, is that right?
Of black young men from Chicago.
To what?
To go help.
Oh, well, hey, power to them if it's true. I mean, look.
It's not true.
Oh, it's not true. Oh, so, I mean, is it the kind of thing, I mean, you can't probably blame Rahm Emanuel for it. It's like blaming Barack Obama for the meme that went out of him handing out Thanksgiving dinners in, what's that place, Rockport, Texas? Obama wasn't there, nor should he really have been there. But somehow these memes occur anyhow. Yeah, that was one. And the other thing is I said, if you're complaining about Trump making a couple tweets for a few seconds the night before Harvey landed, STFU, unless you want to talk about Barack Obama during Benghazi. Where was he? No one likes to talk about that subject.
Oh, yeah. You saw when you were kind enough to have me on your show a few days ago.
I wasn't kind. I want to benefit. I want big, good guests. That wasn't being kind. That was being selfish, Pat.
Yeah. If you think back to, I proposed my observation that some of our favorite websites seem to be moving a little bit to the left. And I couldn't come up with an example right off the top of my head at the time, of course, but very shortly thereafter, went to Daily Caller and saw a post by one of the regulars that criticized Trump for doing some other things while he was also managing the crisis of the hurricane.
Yeah.
And my response to was, I'm sure he had to pee in the middle of it too. What's your point?
Well, yeah, the other thing is, how much is he supposed to do? First of all, it's not like he's an expert, and it's delegation is a big part of it. And then the other thing is, Winston Churchill, during World War II, I get it. He would drink brandy and he'd drink about 5 other things more than anyone else, stay in his bathrobe and work till 3:30 a.m., much to the consternation of other people who had to work with him. But there's only so much, and this isn't because I support Trump, there's only so much he can do. I mean, what is he supposed to do? Tell people who are emergency personnel how to do their jobs? He doesn't know.
And I'm sure all the people that were rescued during Katrina, who failed to evacuate, are also on buses on their way to Houston to help bail out water, if nothing else.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we haven't even. But first of all, this is airing on Monday early evening for the first time till Tuesday.
It's still raining in Houston.
It has the rain, but the rain is sort of settled a little bit. It's going to get a lot worse tonight, from what I understand. Right?
A little bit, I do know.
Yeah. And by the way, if you're getting your coverage, if you're in Houston and you're getting your coverage of Hurricane Harvey on Backlash via Shark Nation Radio, I would suggest doing something else, because we are not there. We're just sitting there talking about it. There are definitely better sources for emergency information than this show. I just want to get that disclaimer out there, Pat.
I also would suggest that they not watch Fox, because it's useless. I watched a little bit of it, and it's 24/7 of the same things over and over again. Yes, it's wet. Yes, people are needing to be evacuated.
Well, there's only so much they can do. I mean, what are they supposed to do?
How much do the same B-roll over and over and over again?
Well, I don't think that's for people in Houston. I think it's for people outside of there, and frankly, a lot of people who
what I know? I got my coverage information from Fox.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is not the place for that. This is the place if you happen to like this show, like listening to me. But there's only so much you can get from TV. And by the way, it involves people having to actually be out there. A lot of people are a little cautious about sending their reporters out there to cover this stuff because, the reporters may get killed.
Well, they should be.
They should be cautious, or they should be killed. I mean, I can think of a few in the latter.
They should be cautious.
Okay.
I can't think of the guy's name, but he was a Katrina as well. He's a reporter for Fox. I mean, there are like signs blowing over his head, street signs coming at him, and he's barely able to stand up in the wind.
Yeah.
And Juan Williams, of course, is one more question to keep him out in the rain another minute. So Juan gets this very long, convoluted question.
Funny. And you're of course. Go on.
And then when Hannity did the same thing.
Now you're of course.
He made the guy stand out there.
You're of course in central North Carolina. There isn't much of a risk of hurricanes, though. The eastern shore of North Carolina often gets hit. I am in northeast Florida, not far from the beach, and so there's a little bit of glad it's them, not me, which probably you don't experience in central North Carolina. But it's just weird because you're experiencing this from Florida during hurricane season, and you think, well, it could have been here. And the strange thing was there were some very outer part of minor tropical storm things going on here. It must have stopped and started raining like at least 12 times yesterday. It was the strangest day I can remember weather-wise. I ended up not being able to go to the beach. But it was just very interesting because it was sort of hurricane season weather here, just nothing really damaging. But you could just appreciate what was going on a little bit from doing that. Anyhow, what other stories are you thinking about, Pat? What's on your mind right now?
This is approximately, as people are probably reading, the 54 years since Martin Luther King marched in Washington.
Okay.
And I thought we'd come such a long way, didn't you, Adam?
No, I never had any illusions about it, really. I think white people tend not to be racist, but no, I think it became a black power movement by the late 60s, and first of all,
white people have come a long way.
Things are certainly more integrated than they were. I mean, there's no question about that. Whether that would have happened with or without Martin Luther King, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much effect he did or if he became a symbol.
What's really funny, everybody and their brother claims to have marched with Martin Luther King. And if you look at the pictures, the only guy you know in the picture is him.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder who wrote the speech, by the way. I mean, I don't know who... I know there's the plagiarism thing, but I know he had a lot of lines written for him by others. And, I mean, not that there's necessarily anything wrong with that. People have speechwriters, but I do wonder sometimes who actually wrote his most famous speeches. I don't think that's unreasonable.
Yeah. I think that would be good to know.
You
I
certainly
bet
had...
it was a 50-50 deal. He wrote half and farmed out.
Oh, he had a great voice and a great presence. And it's something you can't deny. But I don't know if he actually wrote all his stuff. And there's certainly evidence that he may not have done so. Are you following... Are you following Arizona with Jeff Flake and Joe Arpaio and the Republican Party drama going on over there?
Only as closely as I can handle.
Okay, you can't. You get
I can talk.
You get an upset stomach if you have to watch Jeff Flake or John McCain.
No, it's just that McCain has been around since the fire and the invention of the wheel.
Right.
So there's nothing that McCain can do that would surprise anyone. A lot of people don't know that his mother gave him the nickname Mick Nasty when he was a baby.
Yeah, was he just a brat? Is that how it worked?
He's just a pain in the butt. Because some people are just born that way.
He really is.
And it never shuts off.
I mean, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine any.
He never gets tired of betraying people.
Yeah, I just can't imagine he's ever been with a group of peers. Like, he actually ever had a group of people who actually liked him. You know, I would say the same for John Kerry. I just can't imagine people who spend a lot of time with him like him say, "Oh, Kerry's a great guy. McCain's so cool. You know, I love hanging out with him." No, I can't see that whatsoever. By the way, you know the most interesting thing about John McCain's mother?
She's still here.
Yeah, 105 years old. I mean, like, how jealous is Herman Woke, who's 102? Is he 102? Or I think so, yeah. Right now. He's still 3 years behind. And he's not the most famous celebrity in the world who's still alive. Oldest living celebrity. That would be John McCain's mother. Yeah, what else you got, Pat?
Well, I just think it's funny. I had mentioned on social media that John McCain, right after I saw John McCain, the clip of McCain denouncing the pardon of Joe Arpaio. Mm-hmm. And by the way, CNN, it's pronounced Arpaio. Mm-hmm. I remembered and double checked Nixon's pardon of the group of POWs.
Right.
That McCain was in. And McCain didn't turn down the pardon.
No. What was the charge exactly? Do you know offhand? I started talking about that with
They were collaborating with the enemy, but and not just anybody. It's a matter of degrees as well. Uh-huh. I mean, they're being tortured and beat up.
Yeah.
I mean, who's going to fault them for telling them anything they want to hear?
Right. Well, I just don't know the details, but people seem to have a little less respect for McCain than they do for the average POW based on his behavior there, whatever it was. I think there's no denying that.
Well, it was a collaboration. He made like radio recordings and stuff.
Yeah, they called him the Canary too. I know that because he would sing and sing.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't changed much, has he?
No. Have you been following Antifa and all the things going on with that, including the attacks on Trump supporters yesterday in Berkeley?
I did not see it, but I've read about it. I did not see any clips or anything, but if you've seen one violent riot, you've pretty much seen them all.
That's true.
They beat the snot out of each other. That's what they did in Berkeley. Yep. It was the same crowd.
Yep. Any other thoughts before I let you go, including where people can follow you?
Okay. Well, the left has been renting crowds for a long time. This is not a new phenomenon. It's just becoming a fairly well-known factor today in America. But it's not a new tool in their box. They've been doing it forever.
And correct me if I'm wrong about anything here. The place to follow you is throttlebottom.com for your blog. You're on Twitter at honestconserve, CONSRV. That's at Twitter, and you're on Facebook as just Pat Carfagno.
That's me.
All right, thanks for coming on today, Pat.